Okay, everybody, hello and welcome. This is Miss K, and we're going to be doing a lovely makeup tutorial for you today. Now, you've seen lots of makeup tutorials where they're putting on this contouring and all this like drag type makeup, and we're not doing that for Miss K today. What we're doing for Miss K today is we're going to do, ladies, what you might want to see your face look like, a natural face, okay? We are going to be adding some colors to her eyes to give her some eye pop for her photo shoot we're going to be doing today, but we're going to be starting with some basics, okay? So just your basics. So if you look at Kay's skin here, she's got really good skin. She's got very nice skin. Kay, turn to each side. There you go. And each side, she's a little bit of hyperpigmentation around her mouth area, which she goes to a dermatologist for, and is slowly getting lighter. And she has a little bit of hyperpigmentation underneath the eye here, you can see. So it's just a little tiny bit. But for most of us, we all have something on our skin that we want to cover. So what we're using now is actually, we're going to promote this. So this is Jeffree Star, and I'll show you the product. This is Jeffree Star, and this is his concealer, okay? So what we're going to start with here is we're going to put a little bit of concealer under the eye. So I want you to look up, Kay, and we're just going to, ladies, you've probably done this a million times in your life. So you want to take it, and you want to get it as close to your eye as you possibly can. And you might be wondering why I'm staying out of the video, because I have no makeup on right now, and I refuse to allow you to see me without my makeup. As most ladies do, they refuse to allow people to see them without their makeup. So we're just going to go under the eye here, under the eye here. And this is your basic face makeup, ladies, for the day, okay? Something we like to call, you can call it your 5-minute makeup. It's gonna take a little longer than 5 minutes, but it doesn't take longer than 30 minutes, okay? So there we go, now we're finished. Just kidding, we're not finished. That is, what does that look like to you? That looks like a highlighter. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually blend this in. So, okay, if you'll look up for me, we're gonna blend this in with our Beauty Blender here. And we're gonna go right to the crease of the eye. One of the issues with concealer is a lot of times, especially if you're doing it on yourself, it's hard to get right into the crease of that eye. So what I like to do is I like to go, close your eyes. I like to go all the way up onto the eye and up into, see how we're going into the, almost to the brow here? So we will clean the brow later, but we can get into that crease because you don't want to have anything that we can see that is an imperfection. So we want to go all the way over, and we put enough on there so we can go all the way out. Always make sure that the strokes are out. We want it to go all the way up here. In case you haven't had your brows done in a while, or in case you've got some dark spots above, you want to go all the way out. So see there, if you open your eyes, so you can see how it kind of has hidden and highlighted there. But it's a lot lighter than her natural skin tone, which is exactly what concealer is made to do. It's meant to highlight and to cover. So I'm going to do this eye now. I'm gonna reach around here, Kay, if you'll just look up, there we go. And now you can close your eye, there we go. We're gonna go all the way into the crease here, all the way around, all the way up, into the corner of the eye, and down. And you can bring the concealer down as low as you'd like. I sometimes conceal nearly my whole face. So it's like I start with a concealer, conceal my whole face, and then I build onto that. So concealer is really good because it actually gives you a nice base. It's a nice base for any kind of hyperpigmentation. I have brown skin, so if you look up for me, Kay, I have brown skin, so for me, it's really important because if you have discoloration, many places the concealer is really, really, really nice. If you look up for me, sorry, I'm getting this really close to your eye here, but when you're doing it on yourself, it's a little harder, but there you go. So now, if you'll see there, now, okay, if you look right into the camera, you can see that that has been concealed. Okay, so now, that was the Jeffree Star product. Let me show it to you one more time. That's Jeffree Star. If you'll just hold that there, Kay.
And that's in shade C8.
C8, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this concealer here, and this is called Age Rewind, and this is from Maybelline. Simple Maybelline, okay? Maybelline, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. Well, today it's Maybelline. All right, so okay, if you will just natural mouth, we're gonna go all the way under here. We're gonna go onto the lip, and we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna go here and around, and we're gonna go all the way to the bottom of the lip. And the reason we're doing that is because Kay has hyperpigmentation there. And so normally you would not wanna go all the way onto the lip with the concealer. The reason we're doing that is because we are actually covering, and we're going to be using a foundation on top of this called Derma Blend. But Kay has really nice skin, so we don't want to use too much makeup. We don't want it to look too heavy, okay? So one of the things is you don't want it to look too heavy because a lot of ladies are like, well, you know, if you live in Florida, these ladies who happen to live in Florida, they don't want to be wearing makeup where they're going to sweat it all off and it's like you feel like you're wearing a mask. So, and I totally understand that. Now, I don't mind wearing a mask, but some people don't like that whole look of having a mask and go real easy there on your nose because I know you've got to tender spot on our nose today. So we're going to get into that crease right there. And we're going to just, there we go, all the way down, all the way down. We're just blotting this in here. And what we are doing is we're not wiping, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to conceal. So when you're concealing, you just want to blot it on. And if you choose the right colors, which is really important, you notice that just kind of takes it all away. So now we have a blank canvas. Kay, if you look right into the camera, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our Dermablend. So Dermablend is a base, and I'm going to show it to you. This is Dermablend. Okay, if you want to hold that and tell us what number that is.
This is, oh, where's the number? Oh, Camel 30N.
So she's using Camel 30N. Okay, so Camel 30N is her base. So that would be her base color. And I would say Kay is she has some ethnicity in her, so she's got olive skin, probably tans really well. Mm-hmm. So if you see there, see how that's a little bit, if you just turn there, see how it's a little darker, a little warmer. You want your base to always be a little warmer, specifically if you're doing a lot of concealing. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to go right over. Dermablend is one of the best makeup foundations you can use because it is a full coverage. Just like MAC has a full coverage, Dermablend was the original full coverage makeup that people would use if they had tattoos and they wanted to cover tattoos, because Dermablend covers just that well. And you see that I put a tiny bit on her face and I'm able to do almost the entire face here with this one little bit, because again, you don't want it to look cakey. You don't want it to look so heavy. Now, if you're not used to wearing makeup, it is probably going to feel for the first, little bit like, oh, I can feel it on my face. Yeah, you're gonna be able to feel it on your face. And always make sure, ladies, that everybody has hair on their face, like little peach fuzz. You always wanna make sure that you are blending downwards. And the reason is because the hair you want to smooth downwards. You don't want to smooth it up, because then it looks like you've got peach fuzz on your face. And everybody does. So you can either get it waxed or removed, or you can smooth it downwards. So we're gonna put a little bit more of the Dermablend on here, and we're going right into here. And so remember, this is where the discoloration part was. So we're gonna really tap into that. Whenever you're trying to conceal something, you want to tap it. Press it into the skin, press it into the skin, press it into the skin, as opposed to wiping it. And because the wiping is going to thin it out, and we want to build on it. And Dermablend, one thing that I really love about Dermablend is a buildable makeup. So you can put one layer on, you can put 2 layers on. And the other thing is, you never, even if you have the perfect shade for you, you always want to make sure that you blend all the way down onto the neck. Not all the way down to the breast, but down onto the neck. And the reason is because nobody wants a line. But you can see that Kay has chosen the perfect color. So she was able to choose the right color for herself. And so she's we're going to be able to blend this just down onto the neck a little bit like this. And it's not going to be a huge difference. Her neck and her face will be the same color. The idea is that your neck and face are the same color. Okay. Again, the reason that we've gone a little bit thicker around the mouth is because we are trying to conceal her pigmentation, her hyperpigmentation. Okay, so now we're gonna go just around up into the hairline here. Make sure, one of the things, ladies, you can remember to do this. A lot of people don't know about this, but some people do. We all get makeup in our hairline. What you do at the end is you take witch hazel or some sort of astringent, and you just kind of go right through the hair, and it takes it right out. Witch hazel is your friend. Witch hazel is also a great astringent, but it takes the makeup right out of the hair, or if you're wearing a wig, a lace front, anything like that, it takes the makeup right out of that. Okay, so tell me if I'm hurting you, Kay, because I know she had a little nose issue this morning, so we had to get a little cut on her nose. We want to make sure that we're not hurting that. Okay, so we're going to go in with this one more drop of Dermablend into here, right into this area here, and smooth it downwards. Make sure we always are going downwards, up here. There's no hair up here, but down here. And we have, if we can get all the way around, boom, 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 boom. See how nicely this is a perfect shade for you. This goes all the way down, this blends perfectly. So there'll be no lines. We don't want lines. You only want lines in dancing and in modeling. You do not want lines on your makeup. There's nothing worse than somebody who's got a really nice face and then It stops right here, and their neck's a different color. There's nothing worse than that, okay? So we've blended this all in here, all the way over. Let's see. Yeah, all the way over. So now, okay, if you will, let me just do this side of the nose here. There we go, turn that way. Okay, if you just look right into the camera. All right, look at that. Perfect porcelain skin, gorgeous. Now what we're going to go in and do, because I was telling you ladies about doing your makeup and not having it be so thick. The thing about having really thick makeup is some people love wearing thick makeup. I don't think that it's necessary, okay? So we're gonna get this powder, can sometimes go everywhere. Now this powder is, let me just make sure I'm saying this right.
Kat Von D.
Kat Von D. Now ladies, not everybody can afford Kat Von D powder, okay? But Kat Von D powder is very good. So you're just gonna tap, 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 tap. Boom, 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 boom. We do not want to, the reason we're doing it this way is because we do not want to take away the youthfulness that the makeup glow gives us. See, the makeup gives us a shine, and when we're younger, we don't want that shine. When we're 20 years old, we want to have dry looking skin because no one wants oily skin. Well, oily skin makes you look younger. When you have oil to your skin, it keeps you young looking, okay? So for those of you who have dry skin, always moisturize your skin. There's lots of oils that are really good. There's bio oil is really nice for you to use. Grapeseed oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Those are the oils that will keep your skin looking nice and young for years to come. If you've got pigmented skin, like if you're African American, black, brown, Hispanic, anything like that, and you have some darker skin, usually you'll notice that people of color tend to look a little younger than Caucasian people because when they get older, because they've got more melanin in their skin, therefore their skin has more oil to it. And that is why, okay? So there we go. We've finished our powder. So now, okay, if you'll just look right into the camera there, powdered up, she's ready, she's glamorous. Okay, so, and you've noticed I've gone all the way up to the hairline, and Kate has dark hair, so you'd be able to see if the makeup's in the hair. So if you don't put it on too thick, the makeup kind of just falls right out. So you see how we're not really doing a lot on her face. We're just trying to give her that natural, everyday look. Now, I don't know how long we've been going right now, but it seems like we've only probably been doing this for about, what, 10 minutes? Maybe?
12.
12 minutes? Okay, so that's perfect. So 12 minutes. So our goal is to do this under 30 minutes. Now, some people say, oh, I don't have 30 minutes to waste on doing my makeup. Well, you don't have to, if you don't have pigmented skin, if you don't have hyperpigmentation, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can take a little less time. It can take you a little less time if all you gotta do is put on a little concealer underneath the eye. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go in and we are going to do a little bit of highlighting, contouring, okay? So let me just get our highlighter out here. But we're doing the highlighter contouring, which, oh, let's see here, hold on, which one is the highlighter contouring?
The contour is the black one there, and
This
then
one.
the highlighting is, there's a liquid highlighter right there, and then there's also a heart-shaped one with the highlighter.
I see the heart one,
Yeah,
here we
that
go,
one.
okay. So the heart one is, you wanna hold that up for us? That's the Too Faced. Heart one is that's a really nice one.
Blinded by light.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, actually, yeah, if you want to open that for us, Kate, that's really nice. So that highlight there, that's what we're going to do next, and that's going to go right above the cheekbone. So highlighter does not go on the cheekbone, it goes above the cheekbone.
There's also a brow highlighter in there too.
Okay, we'll find that one, but we're kind of doing this on the whim here, but we wanted to show you just kind of a natural way to get your face photo ready or ready just for the day where you feel confident. The whole idea is to make you feel like you look your best without making you feel like you've had a pound of makeup on. So we're just gonna take this highlighter here and we're just gonna go right up here, right above the cheekbone. I like to bring it all the way under the eye a little bit there so it gives you kind of that shimmer. And you're gonna go up into the hairline, boop, 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 boop. And we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go over this way, and you can already see the sheen that it gives. The reason that this is good is it has this pigmented shimmer. Now also, if you close your eyes here, I like to do a little bit over the eye because that naturally gives you just that shimmer. You can never have too much shimmer because shimmer acts as a reflector. So when the light hits, it's going to reflect and it's going to make you look very, 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 very glossy and young and dewy. Put a little bit up on the forehead here and a little bit down on the chin and kind of just smooth it out perfectly. Okay, now we're going to go into our blush. So, a lot of ladies don't like to wear blush. Some ladies prefer to use a bronzer. I think blush, I love blush. Not everybody loves blush. I do love blush. But let's see what color blush. Where are the blushes here?
I usually just use eyeshadow.
Usually is. So this is a perfect example, ladies. So this is called Beauty Killer by Jeffree Star. This is Beauty Killer by Jeffree Star. If you want to go ahead and hold that up, there we go. And this is his eyeshadow palette. But what we use it for is eyeshadow and blush. So if you could choose one of these colors, what do you think I'm going to choose? I'm going to probably choose this one, which is called Confession, and I'm probably going to mix it a little bit with Courtney. Okay, so we're going to take, and it's very, very light. So you're going to go really, really light, shake the brush, and we're going to go start right here at the apple of the cheek. Boom, 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 and you're going to go all the way up. And now you notice that Jeffree Star's makeup has already a shimmer to it. That's one of the things that's really great about his products. I feel like all of his products have kind of this like glow. They kind of make you glow, okay? So you want to go up. Then we're going to go to Courtney here and kind of give that pinkness, a little bit more of a depth, not brown, but like a little bit more depth there, so it's not so rosy, because we want, the whole idea behind blush, ladies, when it was originally created was the women used to use flower petals, and they would crush them, and they would use that for their blush, and they would use that for their lipstick, they would use it for a lot of different things, okay? So, you don't want to look like a burn victim. Not that there's anything wrong with being a burn victim, but you don't want to look like a burn victim when you use your blush. So you want to really make sure that you're creating the apple of the cheek. That always makes you look younger. If you start here and go up, it's going to make you, yes, it defines the jaw, but we're looking for youthful, nice, rosy cheeks. And we're going in here with the Courtney, and the Courtney kind of just dulls the color down a bit so we don't have it so bright, because like I said, and I'm tapping these, but this Confession color is very, very, very pigmented, so we want to make sure we're really blending that in. Okay, so you want to blend, 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 blend. And over here, we're going to go back over and we're going to blend, 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 all the way up. Blend, 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 blend. There we go, and okay, there we go, and there we are. And then, let me see you. Look right into the camera here, let me see you. Now, that might look to you like it's very heavy. Does that look very heavy to you? Naturally, would that look heavy to you?
Yes.
Probably. You want to know why?
Why?
Because now what we have to do is we have to do a little bit of powder over this. So when you use a pigmented blush, you want to make sure that if you have a pigmented blush that you go over it with your loose powder, okay? A la your base powder, because that is going to calm down that look. It is very difficult to find the perfect blush, so we're going to take this right here, and we're just going to go do 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 do, bling bling, and we're going to just tone it down just a little bit. Tone it down just a little bit. So one of the reasons that it is, you want to kind of get a blush that is a lighter color for your skin, and using the Jeffree Star stuff is great for the blush if you are going for a more dramatic look, but however, we are going for a more subtle look, so if you can see the difference there, now look at that. Let me see the difference there. So what we're doing is now we're going to do this side, and what we're just done is we're just taking a little bit more of that concealer here that was left over on the sponge, and we're going into the face here, and we're just kind of blending this out, okay? So we're really making sure that this doesn't look like Miss K has come out of a fire and been singed on just her cheeks. Okay, so we're going to really go in with that. Hold on one moment. Get a little of so we've got, okay, so we're going to go in here with that, and we're going to go right on top. Here we go. Again, if you were using a blush that was a little lighter, a little bit more flushed color, then you wouldn't need to go back in and do this. But since we had only our Jeffree Star lovely, lovely colors that are very vibrant, we needed to go back in to kind of tone down that blush look. Okay, but we did give her, we've achieved our ultimate goal, which was to give her that flushed, young, youthful look. Now look at yourself. Can you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So that's just highlighted there. Now we've got just the rosiness of the cheeks. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start upon the eye. Upon the eye, upon the eye. Okay. Since we know Jeffree Star has very, very hyperpigmented eyeshadows, we are going to use them because we don't need to use very much and it does its job. So what we're going to do first is we're going to find our brush here. We've got our brushes laid out here. Okay, here we are. And we're going to go in. So we're doing a natural look with Miss K today because we want to keep her looking natural. We're going to be doing some photos with her. So if you'll just close your eye, Kay. And we're going to go in right here. And we're going in with like a little taupe-ish color. It's actually called What's the Tea? So it's a really nice kind of beigey brown. On my skin it would look a little bit more beige. On her skin it looks a little bit more goldish brown. Very pretty. It's a very nice color. It's a very good contouring color. And we're going in right from the side here. And you want to start at the crease of the eye here, and you want to go all the way to about the beginning of the eyebrow. Almost. Not all the way, but almost, okay? We're going to start over here, and we're going to do the same thing. So it's along the lid. There we go. I kind of just get that in there. All the way to the edge, all the way over, almost to the center of the brow. There we are. Close it. There we go. Yep, we're gonna go. So we're working the crease here. We're trying to get into the crease. And we're trying to get it all the way down to the lid and get it all the way over. Now again, you're gonna find people who are doing makeup tutorials, who are doing contouring and doing all this different stuff. And we are really trying to go for a more natural, everyday look that you can put on to go outside, to go grocery shopping, but something that will stay on your face all day long. Okay, so something that will stay on the face all day long and not run halfway through your day, your makeup's off. So it's for the mom on the go, but the mom on the go that wants to look nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with a little bit of, it's called Honest Truth. Don't we all like the honest truth? Okay, and so this is just like a peachy color, and we're gonna go right into all the way to the corner of the eye here. And we're going to go up, and we're just going to fill that in right there. Look at that. And that's very pretty. It's very soft. It's very natural, and it goes really, really well with the What's the Tea. So this is the Honest Truth and the What's the Tea. So always when you want to know the honest truth, you want to know what's the tea, but you want to know what the truth is too. The truth and the tea should be the same thing, and that's why these two go together so well. Okay, so we've got that going. I'm going to put a little bit more of that on here. We're going to be working with magnetic lashes today too, which we have not done. Now ladies, this is optional. Not everybody's going to want to wear a false lash, but since we are doing some photos of Miss K today, we're going to put on a magnetic false lash. And we're choosing to use the false lash that is the magnetic, but it is the magnetic that is, it is the magnetic that goes, it's the glue. It's like the magnetic glue. And you put it on, and you just stick it right on top. The magnetic that adheres to itself to the bottom lash, those are a little bit more tricky to put on, I find. And some people like to do the individuals. I personally think that the individuals are much more difficult to do. I would rather just put on a strip lash. It's easier, goes on quicker, and practice makes perfect. Some people use tweezers. I use my fingers. It all just depends. You can use whatever works for you, just as long as you achieve the look. It's about feeling good, about feeling like you look good. So whatever it is that it takes to make you feel good and look good, that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter what other people think about your makeup. It matters what you feel about your makeup and how you feel about your skin and your face. Skincare is also a really, really big thing with makeup, is because if you have good skin, then you don't need to wear a lot of makeup. Unless you choose to for a special event or something, then you may want to go a little bit more dramatic. But really, truly, if you are a person who takes care of your skin and you've got decent skin, a lot of makeup is not needed. Okay, so now we've got that. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this color. It's called Mr. Diva. Ooh, expensive. Look up, Kay. And we're going to go with Mr. Diva, and we're just going to go right underneath here. Right underneath there. So what we're doing is we're lining the bottom with Mr. Diva under the eye. So it's matching the What's the Tea and the What's the Tea and the Honest Truth. Yep, so it's kind of matching. It's in the same scheme as that, the same color scheme as that. Now look up a little bit over here. Okay, very, very nice. Yep. Okay, now close your eye. All right, now we're going to take our brush here again. You can look up. And we're gonna just dust that underneath there. So that's just kind of giving us a little bit of warmth. Oops, not in her eye. Sorry about that, Kay.
Okay.
And above. Now, a lot of people are very concerned about brows. They want to do your brows. Here's a lesson for your brows. Your brows should always start, the corner of your brow should start at the edge of your nose. Edge of your nose. This should come to the edge of the eye. Your arch is the middle of the eye. So this is where your arch naturally is, okay? So arch is here. So if you draw 3 dots, it'd be dot, dot, dot. And that's where so if you ever do your brows, we're gonna leave Kay's brows natural today, but if you ever do your brows, if you want an arch, the arch always needs to be at the middle of the eye, okay? So it should come right above the cheekbone. And then the bottom of the brow should go out, not down. We don't want saggy eyes, we want lifted eyes. Same thing over here, okay? You wanna make sure that you never go too far over. It should always be right there at the edge, so right there at the edge. All right, so we're gonna brush that out a little bit. Brush the brow out just a little bit here. Over her with a little more powder. Okay, now we are ready for our lashes. Is everybody ready to see what the lashes are going to do? The lashes are going to make you look stunning, darling. You already do, but the lashes are going to even be better. Okay, so what we've got our magnetic lashes. If you want to show them the box here, push that down a little bit more. These are the magnetic lashes that we're going to use. Okay. And it seems like there's quite a few pair in there. How many come in a box?
You get
10?
8.
8? That's
2, 4, 6. Oh, 10. You get
10
10 in this
pairs.
box.
So 10 pairs of lashes. And, you know, it's not necessary that you use... Oh, this seems like it's a little bit dry.
Does it?
So what we might have to do...
Oh, you're right.
Okay, so what we're going to do, no problem with that, is we're going to improvise. So we're going to use mascara. Guess what mascara we're using?
Fuckproof.
Fuckproof by Jeffree Star. And if you'll notice, we pulled this out of the box here. It comes along with its own little whip, so you can slap yourself afterwards. Isn't that nice? I think that's a really cute little, very, very cute. Okay, so Kay, now the thing about putting on mascara is you're gonna have to look straight ahead. I'm gonna get very close to your eye. I want you to look straight ahead, and don't worry, I won't poke you in the eye. And if I do, we'll pretend that I didn't. Now, what I like to do is I like to start at the top of the lash. Not everyone does this. I think that lashes need top and bottom coating because, especially if you've got a good mascara, if you go along the top here and then you go along the bottom, it gives you a nice full look. And again, we're looking for natural. We're not looking for drag lashes or even, I mean, if you use fake lashes, it's fine as long as they look natural. The idea is for it to not look, we want it to look natural, okay? So, and you've got very long lashes actually now that we have the mascara on you. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Let me try it like this here. So you're gonna go right above. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and we're gonna go up. All the way to the corners there. Now, okay, if you'll just close your eyes, you can see see how that little bit of the black mascara has gotten on the top there. That's okay because what we're gonna do, we have to line the eyes. We always line the eyes afterwards. So typically, yeah, if I were doing this on myself, I'd probably be able to keep that from happening. Now look up. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom lashes. But again, we're gonna be lining the top a little bit, so we'll be able to cover that. And I'll show you also a trick. When you do get mascara on your skin, you don't wipe it off right away. You let it dry and then it chips right off. That's a little trick somebody taught me once. Okay, so we're gonna look right up in here and we get right in there. Brilliant, okay, very nice. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to line the lash. Now, I'm going to be using liner. We're going to be using liner, and we're going to be using Jeffree Star's palette as liner. We're not going to use a liquid liner. We're going to use a dark liner from Jeffree Star's Morph X. Jeffree Star. We're going to use our liner brush, and we're going to be using the black liner. Isn't that going to be gorgeous? All right, so if you'll just close your eye there, Kay. And we're going to go right along just the lid. We're going to start at the edge here. As close to the lid, as close to the eyelash as you can get, because the whole point is to... Now, some people think that liner makes the eyes look smaller. It can, depending on how you wear it. If you wear it too thick, it can make your make your eyes look really small, or it can define them. And what we're hoping to do here today is to define them. So we're going to make it go in, all the way over, and there we go. And there we go. And we're going to go in with the other eye. Okay. And this was the eye, remember, that we had the little bit of the eyeshadow on. So we're going to go in with the eye, and we're going to go all the way over. Boom, boom. And we're going to go all the way over. And right into the crease there. All the way over. We're not trying to create a smoky eye, we're just trying to create a nice line there, just to kind of fill in that gap between the lash and the eye, okay? You'll open your eye. Okay, so you'll notice underneath Kay's eye, she's got a little bit of the powder that has fallen. Well, the lucky thing for Kay is that we have a beautiful concealer that we go in with. One little dab that will lift. Now look up, and we just want to go right in here, and we want to conceal that right away. So you'll notice this is what you don't want to do. Is you see how that smudges if you do that? See that smudge? So what you're going to do is you see that smudge? You know what you're going to do? It's okay. Look up. We're going to do this. You go under with the concealer. A lot of people use baking. Baking is a look up. Baking is a powder, a loose translucent powder, and that comes in banana, comes in white, and it comes in a beigeish color. And people do the baking underneath the eye, and the reason they do that is because eyeshadow falls. So when eyeshadow falls, you want to make sure that it doesn't fall. And if you try and brush it away, what happens is, look up. What happens is you get a nice smudge, like what we just did. And that's not what we're going for. We weren't going for the crying lady look. Like you've been crying all night. Okay, look up. Really look up. There we go. There we are. Okay, down. And this also gives us a little bit more highlight here. And there are people who I have watched different tutorials, and I've seen people do makeup different places that will do concealer at the end. So they do all their makeup and then they conceal at the end, which I thought was really strange. But I do understand why, because a lot of times you make mistakes on your face, or the mascara gets somewhere, or the eyeshadow is smeared, or something has happened and you just are like, oh. So if you've not used concealer already, you can then put the concealer on and conceal over the face, over the mistake. Okay, so we've got that like that. Okay, now if you'll just keep your eyes closed for a second there, okay? One of the things I want to say about the Jeffree Star collection is I really do like this collection, but its collection is the pigment in the collection is very, very strong. It's very, very, very strong. So you have to be very, as you can see, I'm having to go back in now with this color, and we're having to blend this because his colors are very vibrant. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're going for a more natural look, Jeffree Star is you got to be very careful with those colors because they go on very, very bold. And if bold is what you're going for, that's fine. But if you're going for a more natural, everyday look, you may want to choose something like a Maybelline or a CoverGirl or something that is an everyday wear. This is a more bold look for ladies or guys or anybody who wears makeup. So this would be something that I would probably wear, would be like a Jeffree Star, because it's a very, the colors are very vibrant and it's bold. And it works really good probably on pigmented skin that has some melanin in it, as opposed to fair skin. On a fair skinned person, this color that we've used on Kay's eyes, this black on her to line it, would look like charcoal on someone else. It would look too dark, okay? So if you look straight into the camera there, okay? Okay, now we're gonna go again through with our powder here, okay? And we're going to just look up. We have to really blend underneath there, and I'm sorry if I'm touching your eye a little bit, but we're gonna really try and get that. We want that whole look of the whiteness under the eye. We want the contour there, but we do not want it to look like you have white circles under the eyes, okay? So we want to really blend that in. We're going to really blend that concealer in. So we've gone in with the concealer because the Jeffree look up, because the Jeffree Star was so pigmented and it fell down here and we weren't doing the baking, we had to go back in with some concealer and kind of go around it and through it. Now, if you will look, if you remember here, there was hyperpigmentation. You don't see any of that there now. What you see now is a clean face, clean skin, and I'm close to her right now, so I'm looking at her, and it doesn't look like she's wearing a ton of makeup. It looks like she's got a face of makeup on. It looks like she's ready to go out somewhere, ready for her day. Now, we're going to finish here, boom, 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 go into the corner here, and it's okay to get this into the brow. We can go ahead and get that into the brow. Just this is loose translucent powder, so it's kind of gonna calm down all the colors that we've used. Now, up, down, 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 and now we're gonna go into the lip. Okay, so for the lip colors, we've got some fabulous lip colors here. Our lip colors are very nice. We're going to choose, I think, probably the darker of the lip. The darker the lip, was it the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the darker the lip. Now, I'm gonna let you put this lip on, okay? So I want you to just go, I'm gonna show you what I want you to do, okay? So what I want you to do is I don't want you to overline the lips, but I want you to go right to the top, okay? So it's gonna feel like you're overlining the lips. Don't go over the line, but go to the top of the lip, okay? And I want you to show everyone how to do this. And this is also Jeffree Star's. Let me show you this is beautiful. This is Jeffree Star's Cosmetics, and this is his lip kit. And I'm gonna open it for you and show you kind of what's in here. It's beautiful. Got some gorgeous colors. All right, so go ahead and put that one on. And what's the name of that one?
Oh.
I'll tell you the name of it.
Androgyny. Androgyny, thank you.
Androgyny. Okay, so you want to go ahead and put that on there. Yeah. Very nice. So lady, the reason I'm having Kay do this is so you ladies can see that you can do this yourself. You do not have to have a makeup artist to put yourself together. You just have to have the right palettes and the right colors. That looks lovely. Make sure that's nice and straight there. All right, Kay, if you'll just sit back for me and let me give you a little spritzy spritz. And this is some setting spray. And you definitely want to sit, and I use a lot of setting spray because you know why? It makes the makeup look dewy. It makes everything look nice and dewy. Okay, we're gonna let that dry there.
Yeah, there's Jeffree Star right there, setting spray.
Was that what we were using?
Right there.
This?
Yep.
Okay, so this is Jeffree Star setting spray here.
Strawberry.
Strawberry setting spray. Ooh, let's give it another little zest since it's strawberry. Ah, strawberries. Strawberry and wine. Now she's gonna smell like a strawberry, but look how dewy that makes her skin look beautiful. Now, we're going to go directly into the hair. Okay, so what we're gonna do, Kay, you'll just pull your hair down. So we now have the hair. Okay, so hair can be funny, it can be a funny thing. A lot of times ladies go and get their hair cut, and you get it colored, and then the color washes out. So you can see Kay here, she has naturally dark hair, and she's colored it, but she has recolored it darker, and it has faded, so the color has faded. So you can see faded color here. You can actually see that, especially against her fair skin, you can see that you can tell this is her root color. That's the color that it should naturally be. So I like to start with the hair in a side part here because it's easier for me to work that way. And then we can go into the filling of the hair. So what we're gonna do first is we have our blow dryers and flat irons and all that?
Flat irons in the green box. I don't have a blow dryer.
In the what bag?
The green box is a flat iron.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We've got our flat iron here. We're going to use our flat iron. Okay, so with our flat iron, we're going to plug this in. Now, if you want to tell everybody, where did you get this flat iron and what kind do you use? A lot of people use the Chi. I've heard the Chi is really good. But today we're using a different brand, which I'm excited to use because I've never used this one before.
This is Turbo Silk.
Turbo Silk. And tell us why Turbo Silk is the one that you chose.
It makes your hair nice and silky.
Makes your hair nice and silky. Okay. So what are the different? Have you used the Chi before?
I have not.
You've not used the Chi. So one of the things about the Chi is it too makes your hair, it gives your hair like a nice silky shine to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on. We're gonna let this heat up just a tidbit.
Is that on?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna brush Kay's hair straight down here. So this is the crown of the head. We're gonna make sure we make it all 4 parts equal. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All 4 parts equal. And then we're going to make our part. I like to start with the side part like I told you, and it's a natural side part. We don't want to go too far over because if we go too far over then it looks like this, and that's not what we're going for. We're looking for a low side part. We're going to also be adding some layers into Kay's hair by using tracks.
It's hair extensions.
Hair extensions. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to take the hair and we're going to do some photos with Kay's hair without hair extensions. So we're going to take this hair here. All right, we've got our flat iron. It's already nice and hot. And we're going to, you can use your flat iron, ladies. I don't know if you all know this. I'm sure you do, though. Your flat iron will curl your hair just as well as a curling iron, if not better, because it gets hotter quicker. Curling irons are a thing of the past, kind of. I mean, there are some really good ones out there, but truly, a flat iron curls your hair just as well as a curling iron. So, piece by piece. And we're doing this because we're actually not going to be wearing her hair curly, but we're giving her some volume. Because Kay has thinner hair, so we really wanted to kind of give it some volume. The way to do that is to give it some lift by curling it. And then we're going to smooth it out so it doesn't look like ringlets, but it looks full, okay? So we're just gonna go section by section, and there's no way rhymer to do this. You can do it in any sections that you like. I like to just pull different sections up because every piece will get it. Every piece will get the love and the attention. We've sprayed her hair. Her hair has already been washed and clean, and it has no product in it. So what we're doing here is we're just giving it a nice bend, bendy boo bop, okay? And you can see that we're not making a perfect curl. That's not what the goal is. The goal is to give body and to give fullness, okay? So we're going under here. Now this is the under layer of her hair here, so we're gonna take this and you always wanna go backwards. If you're trying to do fullness, you don't wanna go forward, you wanna go backwards curl because backwards makes the hair fuller. Forward can make the hair actually look thinner and it gives you wispies, and that's not what we're looking for here. So we're just gonna go right around here. The bottom layer there we're gonna wait for, and we're just going around. And you notice how I'm just pulling pieces up and giving them a nice bend. We're not doing any kind of like parting. The only fresh part that we do is the one in the middle. And the reason I do that is because that is the natural part of the hair. And most people do not wear a middle part anymore. That's a very old style. So what we do is we're trying to do something that's a little bit more up to date here. So we're just grabbing another selection here of the hair. And we're going to give us a nice bend. A nice bend here. Bada boom, bada bang. Okay, there we go. And now you can see that this is just giving Kay some volume in her hair, but it doesn't look curled. It just looks like it's got some volume in her hair. Let's go back through here to this piece here. And we want to kind of go start at the root. Always start at the root with the flat iron. And you want to just kind of give it a nice bend, 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 boop. And we're just getting some nice messy volume. We want it to look natural. We want it to move. We do not want it to be stiff. Nobody likes stiff hair, okay? Now, we're going outwards with the hair, so we always want to make sure we are bending it backwards, not under. If you bend it under, it's going to make it look shorter and it's going to make it look flat. If you bend it out, it's going to give it volume. So you can tell the difference between this, which is not curled hair, it is just a natural bend, and it looks fuller than that side. So see the difference there? Doesn't look like even the same head of hair. It's got movement to it. So the whole idea is that you give your hair movement, okay? So I'm gonna continue doing this. On this side, we're gonna pull down the front. There you are, thank you, Kay. She's a lovely model here. She knows exactly where to turn. Okay, so we're gonna turn this here and we're doing the same thing. We're bending backwards. bending backwards. And we're not trying to make a curl necessarily, we are just giving body, okay? We're gonna do another piece here. This is great. And the idea is to make the hair look fuller. The hair has to look full because in photos, flat hair never works. Even if you have thick hair but it's flat, it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for the face. You also do not want your hair to be too big because that can also make your face look rounder. So you need to really go with the shape of your face. So if you've got a face that is an oval or a flat, an oval or a heart-shaped face, then you kind of straighter hair will look better on you because the fullness gives you the illusion that your face is a little bit bigger, gives you a little bit more definition. If you have a rounder face or you have a oblong face or a square face, which most people fall into those three categories. There are some people with the oblong. The oblong is the hardest one. Oblong actually looks good with really short bobs, but you have to have it needs to be board straight. You know the Anna Wintour bob, the very very straight, right cut to the jawline bob. That looks good on an oblong face. Okay, so we're gonna go up here to the crown of the head, and notice how I'm just literally separating and pulling pieces. It doesn't have to be in any kind of rhyme, reason, or order. We're just trying to create fullness because Kay's hair is a bit thinner, so then fine strands. So we're just giving her fullness. We're not trying to create any kind of style at this point. You're going to see the styling later. We're just going to do, this is the pre-work, which is just the fullness, giving her an extra layer of hair. This is actually going to give her what will look like an extra layer of hair. That is the whole point of doing this, okay? So now we're going to just, you can hold your head up straight, and just finger through that, ba-da-bump, ba-dum-bump, bump, bump. And there's gonna be some pieces that you might miss. Boop, just give it a nice little bend here. I always like to go with the ends here and just give those a nice little flip out there, okay? Now we're gonna just go back like this. Okay, Kay, if you'll just lean your head straight down. So underneath here, you guys can't see this probably, but underneath here is the shortest part of Kay's hair, okay? So this is the back, because her hair is cut into a bob. It's like a stacked bob here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a natural bend. Doesn't need to be curled, just a natural bend, because that's going to give the root lift, okay? And that is what we're going for. Okay, we're going to choose this side over here now, which is the side we didn't do. And we're going to give it a nice bend. Bend, 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 bend. There we go. And we're going to come back here, and we're going to give it a nice bend. Okay, you can have to put your head back. Now we're just going to zhuzh it. Everybody knows what zhuzhing is, right? If you don't, zhuzhing and smizing are the same thing. Smizing is about making the eyes look fuller. Zhuzhing is about making the hair look fuller. So this doesn't look like the same head of hair as what we started with. This is a whole different look. Now we're going to start to style. So Kay does not have, she may have had bangs before, but we're not going to give her bangs today. What we're going to do is we're going to give her more of a natural kind of wispy turnout bang, okay? So we're like a side bang almost. So we're going to smooth that out and really kind of just fill that in there. Fill that in there, okay? So I'm gonna come around here, all right? And the same thing over here. You can see how when you have a wig on, these little hairs are here are called your baby hairs, and they're pre-plucked, and people do that so that it looks natural, and that's the whole idea. So you never wanna smooth those too smooth, because if you put those too smooth, then it looks like the hair's not yours, okay? So we're just gonna give it a nice, and this is a really nice wand because tool, because it actually is doing exactly what we need it to do. It's not giving us too much curl, but it's giving us a little bit of body. That's all that you could do. Now, there's another trick. If you don't want to do this every single day and you want to have body in your hair all the time, you can get something where it's, I know this word's going to scare everybody, but perm. People used to get perms, and now people are scared of getting perms. Well, we have sent man to the moon, and now we know how to do something called a body wave perm, which is a perm, but it's just to give you like beach waves. So it's literally like you wake up every day and it looks like your hair has just come out of the beach. So it's got that beach wave like natural look to it, and that is always a really nice look. Okay, now this is Kay's hair without any product in it. We're kind of just zhuzhing the back here. The back looks wonderful too. We'll show you that in a minute. Okay, yeah, let's see here. And I love these little baby hairs. This is my favorite part of when you have wigs on, is that, see these little hairs here, you never want to see, you always want to have those out, because those are what make the hair, this is for when you're wearing a wig, those are what make the wig look natural, because everybody has those. Those are your baby hairs. These are when she was a little girl. Those are her hairs there, okay? So that's what we want to make sure we see. It makes the hair look natural, looks good in pictures, makes it look not too fixed. The idea about taking pictures too is that you never want your hair, even if you're posing for headshots or whatever, you never want your hair to look too fixed, too stuck to your head or too styled, because then it doesn't look natural. Because nobody's hair sits in a 1940s, roll. It has to, So you really want to make your hair look as natural as possible, but you want it to look like it's just like you've woken up and this is what your hair just naturally has, this beautiful, beautiful flow to it. Even if it doesn't, some people wake up with naturally flowy hair. Some people don't. So if you don't, you got to put some to it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're just giving Kay a little bit of nice lift and flow. Another thing you can do is called dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is great for not just because you didn't wash your hair. Dry shampoo is really great if you want to spray it at your roots. Make sure you dry it first, spray it at your roots, and then you can tease your roots. When you do that, it makes thickness. You can use baby powder, talc powder, or you can use dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is what is made to clean the hair if you don't want to wash it, but it can be used as a root lift. Yeah. Have you used dry shampoo before?
I got some right there.
You got some right there? So let me
Nacho Mama.
hold this really quick. Okay, so this is called Nacho Mother's Freaky Clean Freak Refreshing Dry Shampoo. So I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to go right at the root. See, we're making her gray. We want to age her. Just kidding. We're not going to age her. We're going at the root right there because we're going to show you how this can make the hair look fuller. So you're going to brush through this, okay? Almost like a zhuzh with the brush, okay? And you're going to brush, and then you're going to go to your natural side part. And do you see the fullness there? Ba-da-ba-da-ba. They have root lift. They have many different root lifts. They also have colored root lift that you can use. That is the same color as your hair. If you are graying at the root and you don't have the time to go get your hair colored, you can spray this into your hair and it will give you that same feel. All right, look right at the camera, okay, straight ahead. Okay. Just a nice little bend here. Alrighty, now we're gonna go in with our Flexi Spray. Now this is, anybody can get this. It's called Salon Selectives Flexible Hairspray. This is for hair plumping, anti-humidity, and non-sticky formula, which is exactly what we're doing because we're going to be changing and adding some extensions into Kay's hair, so we're going to need to move it around a bit. So for now, but what we want this to hold for when we do pictures in this hair. Okay, so we're going to lift, lift, lift. Oh, by the way, ladies, if you are ever out of face primer, and you want to prime your face, specifically if you're on stage, you can use hairspray, and it will hold your makeup. That's a little thing I've learned from doing theater. Okay, so we're gonna just spray this, but boom, 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 boom. Okay, now we're going to just zhuzh this here in the front. Okay, let me look at you straight on here. Okay, so we're gonna go in here with the brush. See how I can still move her hair? Go in here with the brush. And she still has the flat iron in her hand. So what we're gonna do is we've now got the spray in her hair. So we're going to go one more time through this part right here, just to make this part a little smoother around the face. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna give it a nice 1, 2, 3 snap. Boom, boom. There we go. That's gonna give that hold there. And we're going to then come around to the other side. If you'll hold this for me, Kay. I'm gonna come to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing here. So a lot of people will tell you before they roll their hair or they put overnight rollers in their hair, they put mousse or hairspray in their hair before you put the roller in, and that's actually a really good idea because it sets the hair before you spray it, before you curl it. So take this here, and we're just going to kind of smooth out now. We're just smoothing it out. Still keeping the same lift, but just giving it a little bit more definition, okay? Underneath here, we've got some little curly cues. We want to, not under, but we want to go where? Out. Because the whole idea is to make the hair look fuller. Not flat, but full. There we go. And we up here. See how this plump spray has kept this hair in the same curl that it is in? Well, if I want to now smooth that out, which I do, I will just finger through it like this. Take this flat iron and go boop boop bum, and that still gives Kay the same fullness. It just doesn't look as windblown. Let's call it windblown, but the hair is all staying in one nice, beautiful place. Now we're gonna go to the other side. So you can see, Kay, if you'll just look right into the camera there, can you all see how this is nice and smooth, but it still looks full and it's been sprayed? So you're gonna hold this here for me. I'm gonna return to the other side and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So you can see how this is all one piece, right? Because I've sprayed it. So now what we're going to do is we go right back in. And this kind of is it might seem like we're doing this like, well, why didn't you just spray it first? The reason you don't spray it first is because you want to set the style first before you go back in, because otherwise you'll have to spray it 10 times as much to hold the spray, to hold the style. If you curl it first or bend it first and then you spray it, then all you have to do is go back in and do a 1, 2, 3 snap, and it's holding everywhere. It will hold everywhere. Again, go to the ends. I always just like to do this because it just creates a little bit more fullness. Go to the back, bang, okay? And we're gonna give that a little zhuzhing, zhuzhing, zhuzhing. And we are almost finished. All right, Miss Kay, how do you think you look?
Beautiful.
I think you look gorgeous, darling. So you see here these baby hairs. So if we, I'm just gonna show you one more little trick here. If we wanted to smooth this out right here, so see how that other side is really smooth there? We could take this right here and just kind of finger through this. And I'm gonna show you a little trick here. So we have this back, we like that, like that. We can start here at the root and just kind of, because your baby hairs, if you're wearing a wig, you want them down. But sometimes if you're not wearing, if it's your hair, you may not want them to be as flyaway looking, as you can kind of just smooth them in like that, and that gives that whole look there. So it's the same sort of idea, but we've just gone a little closer to the face with the baby hairs. On a wig, you don't want to do that. On a wig, you want to leave the baby hairs loose and unkept, because that's what makes it look like it's your hair. It looks like it's coming out of the scalp. Okay, now, okay, if you'll hold this for me for 1 second. This is Repairing Technology. This is one of the ones that we did not use. This is called Heat Protector. So this is something that you would want to use if you were going to be using heavy heat on your hair, if you were going to be curling it and really trying to curl it, not just giving it body, but just trying to curl it. You always want to use some sort of heat protector. But you know what you can also use heat protector to? Is you can spritz it afterwards. You know why? Because it gives it a nice shine. So instead of using a gloss, which would be heavy on hair that's thin, you do not want to use a gloss because that will make it look, it'll weigh it down. But what you can do is you can use a heat protector, and the heat protector will give it a nice, it loosens the spray a bit, and it gives you a nice shine there, okay? Here we are, and boom, boom, and she's ready for her close-up, Mr. Jamil. Yeah, let's spray a little bit of that right here too. We give love to the back too. We love the front, but you want to give a little love to the back, because the back, sometimes you're taking pictures from behind, you want to make sure that the back of the hair looks just as good as the front of the hair. I'm guilty of that. I'll have the front curled and looking beautiful, and my back will be as flat as can be.
I'm just picturing it.
All right, Ms. Kay. So if you want to tell everybody your name and all the products that you're using, that you've used. You've already told them the Jeffree Star. What are your, tell us about some of your favorite products other than Jeffree Star. Do you have somebody else that you really like? Or is there any cheaper products if people can't afford Jeffree Star? Maybe like e.l.f. or is there any other products that are...
I like e.l.f. a lot, yeah.
e.l.f. is really good?
Yeah.
e.l.f. is really good. Like we said, for the hair, for the dry shampoo, the Clean Freak, Not Your Mama's Clean Freak, they have a sea salt spray that comes in this same brand. It's a sea salt spray, which you spray it in your hair wet, go to bed, you wake up, and your hair has these beach waves to it, and it's actually a sea salt spray, okay? So you can take this and you can spray it. That's what we did we sprayed that at the root here, and that's what we gave like a little bit of root lift. You can use root lift, you can use root spray, or you can use
Not Your Mother's
Clean, Refreshing, Dry Shampoo. All right, that'll be it for us today. So everybody, say goodbye to Kay. We're gonna get some pictures taken, and we think she looks lovely.
Bye.
Ciao.